Did you ever visit a city that promised everything? Amazing sights, vibrant culture, unforgettable experiences, but when you got there, it just didn't deliver. The excitement fades, and you're left wondering what all the hype was about. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. From overcrowded strests and high costs, to a lack of authenticity, these cities are often disappointing for tourists. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 cities that promised the world but left travelers disappointed. These cities were chosen from destinations that tourists hated, detected by TripAdvisor, BuzzFeed, and Euromonitor. 10. Los Angeles, USA. Los Angeles promises the glamour of Hollywood, palm-lined boulevards, and stunning beaches. It's a city many dream of visiting, but once people get there, the dream often shatters quickly. LA is sprawling, and its neighborhoods are incredibly spread out, making it difficult to explore without spending hours stuck in traffic. And traffic is a real issue. LA is notorious for its congestion, and navigating the city's freeways can be a frustrating experience for tourists and locals alike. Another problem is the lack of a cohesive city center. Unlike New York or Paris, Los Angeles doesn't have a concentrated downtown area where you can easily walk between landmarks. Many tourists expecting to see Hollywood glamour are shocked when they arrive and find that parts of the city, especially around Hollywood Boulevard, can feel rundown and gritty. Smog also hangs over the city, especially during the summer, detracting from the natural beauty of its beaches and surrounding mountains. For many visitors, the disconnection between LA's glamorous image and the gritty reality leaves them disappointed, feeling like they've spent more time sitting in traffic than actually enjoying the sights. 9. Dubai, UAE. Dubai is known as a city of extremes, boasting world record-breaking skyscrapers, luxury shopping malls, and artificial islands shaped like palm trees. It's marketed as a dream destination for luxury seekers and adventure enthusiasts alike. However, the reality of Dubai often falls short of the high expectations. For many travelers, Dubai feels artificial and lacks the cultural richness of other cities. While it's impressive to see the gleaming skyscrapers and massive malls, it can all feel a bit hollow, as if the city is more focused on showing off its wealth than offering a genuine cultural experience. Traditional Arabian culture is often overshadowed by the commercialized, flashy facade, leaving visitors searching for something more authentic. The extreme heat in Dubai is another factor that can ruin a trip. For much of the year, the temperatures soar above 40 degrees Celsius (104 degrees Fahrenheit), making it almost unbearable to walk around outside. The city is designed around air-conditioned malls and indoor attractions, which can make it feel more like a futuristic bubble than a real place. Despite all its luxury, many visitors leave Dubai feeling like they've seen a spectacle, but not experienced a soul. 8. Venice, Italy. Venice is one of the world's most romanticized cities, with its winding canals, grand palazzos, and centuries of history. But what many people don't realize until they get there is that Venice is also one of the most tourist-heavy cities in the world, and that sheer number of visitors can significantly detract from the experience. Navigating Venice's narrow, labyrinth-like streets can feel more like pushing through a crowded theme park than strolling through a serene, historic city. During peak season, popular spots like St. Mark's Square are packed with tourists, making it nearly impossible to enjoy the beauty and history that Venice is famous for. And if you're hoping for a relaxing gondola ride, you might be surprised by the long lines, expensive prices, and congested canals filled with traffic from other boats. Another common complaint is the food. Despite Italy's culinary reputation, Venice has a reputation for overpriced and underwhelming meals, especially in touristy areas where the focus seems more on profit than quality. For many visitors, the stunning architecture and picturesque canals aren't enough to make up for the overcrowding, expense, and at times underwhelming experience. 7. Seoul, South Korea. Seoul is often praised for its cutting-edge technology, vibrant nightlife, and rich cultural heritage, but for some visitors, the city doesn't quite live up to the expectations. One common complaint is the disconnect between traditional culture and the modern city. While Seoul has ancient palaces and temples, many tourists find that these sites are often overshadowed by the towering skyscrapers and commercial districts. While many younger Koreans speak some English, communication can still be a challenge, particularly when trying to navigate public transport, order food, or ask for directions in non-tourist areas. This can make exploring Seoul feel more stressful than enjoyable for those not familiar with the language. The city's famous shopping districts, like Myeongdong and Gangnam, can also be a letdown. While they're known for K-beauty products and fashion, they're often overcrowded, with prices that can be higher than expected. Lastly, the fast-paced nature of life in Seoul can leave visitors feeling rushed. The city's 24-hour culture, though exciting, can also be exhausting, making it hard to relax and fully enjoy the experience. 6. Las Vegas, USA. Las Vegas is known as the entertainment capital of the world, drawing millions of visitors each year with its endless casinos, neon lights, and over-the-top shows. But while Vegas has plenty of glitz, it also has a downside that many tourists find disappointing. For one, Las Vegas can feel overwhelmingly commercialized, even by the standards of major tourist cities. Everywhere you go, you're bombarded with ads for shows, clubs, and casinos, which can make the experience feel more like a giant sales pitch than an enjoyable vacation. The main attractions, the casinos and the Strip, often feel repetitive after a while, with each mega-resort offering essentially the same formula: gambling, shopping, and entertainment at sky-high prices. Many visitors also find that once they leave the Strip, there's not much else to see in the city. The surrounding area can feel barren and uninviting, and even on the Strip, you're never far from the reality of homelessness, crime, and the more gritty side of the city. For some, the artificial nature of Las Vegas, combined with the constant pressure to spend money, makes it more exhausting than exciting. 5. Bali, Indonesia. Bali, once known as an untouched tropical paradise, has in recent years become a hotspot for mass tourism, and unfortunately, that has taken away much of the island's charm. What should be a peaceful, spiritual retreat is now often a chaotic mess of traffic jams, crowded beaches, and relentless commercialization. The traffic in Bali is notoriously bad, with long queues of motorbikes and cars snaking through the narrow roads, especially in tourist-heavy areas like Kuta and Seminyak. What should be a leisurely drive through rice paddies and jungle landscapes often turns into a frustrating crawl through congestion and honking horns. And once you finally make it to the beaches, you'll often find them packed with tourists, with some beaches littered with trash. The influx of tourists has also caused prices to skyrocket, and finding authentic local experiences can be difficult amidst the sea of Western-style restaurants, shops, and resorts. For many visitors, Bali feels less like an island escape and more like a crowded theme park with a spiritual veneer, making it a far cry from the paradise they imagined. 4. Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo is celebrated for its vibrant blend of tradition and modernity, boasting iconic landmarks like the Tokyo Tower and Shibuya Crossing. However, many visitors find that the experience often falls short of expectations. One of the main challenges is the city's sheer size and complexity. Navigating the intricate subway system can be daunting, especially for first-time travelers. The language barrier adds another layer of difficulty, making it hard to ask for help or understand directions. Another common disappointment is the unpredictability of weather. Tokyo's seasons can be extreme, with sweltering summers and chilly winters, which can disrupt plans and limit outdoor exploration. Travelers often find themselves stuck indoors during unexpected rainstorms, missing out on the city's famous parks and gardens. While Tokyo is known for its cleanliness and efficiency, the crowds can be overwhelming. Instead of the serene experience many envision, visitors may find themselves struggling through throngs of people. 3. Bangkok, Thailand. Bangkok is known for its eclectic mix of vibrant street life, elaborate temples, and buzzing markets, attracting millions of tourists every year. On the surface, it's a city full of excitement and energy. However, once you're there, many visitors find Bangkok to be overwhelming, with its unrelenting chaos and noise. Traffic congestion is one of the city's biggest issues, with gridlock being a constant part of life. If you're not used to the intensity of Bangkok's crowded streets and chaotic driving, getting around the city can feel like a nightmare. On top of this, the suffocating heat and humidity make exploring the city tiring and uncomfortable, especially for those not accustomed to tropical climates. While the bustling street markets are an attraction, the relentless haggling, scams, and pushy vendors can leave a bad taste in your mouth. Many tourists also report feeling harassed in popular tourist areas like Khao San Road, where you're constantly bombarded by offers for tuk-tuk rides, fake goods, or overpriced souvenirs. Despite its reputation as an exotic and cultural destination, Bangkok often ends up feeling more stressful than magical. 2. Paris, France. Paris is often depicted as the epitome of romance and sophistication, with images of couples strolling along the Seine, sipping coffee at chic cafes, and admiring iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. However, many visitors arrive in the City of Light only to find that it doesn't quite live up to their lofty expectations. One of the main issues visitors encounter is the overwhelming number of tourists. Paris's major attractions, like the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, and Notre Dame, are almost always packed, and getting that perfect, romantic shot of the city can feel impossible when you're surrounded by huge tour groups. The sheer volume of tourists makes the experience feel rushed and far from the leisurely Parisian dream most people imagine. Another common complaint is the service in many of Paris's restaurants and cafes, which has earned a reputation for being cold or even rude. Many tourists feel that service industry workers are impatient with non-French speakers or those unfamiliar with local customs. Paris is also an expensive city, and tourists often feel gouged when it comes to food, accommodations, and attractions. Many find that the cost doesn't always match the quality, particularly when dining in tourist-heavy areas where the food can be mediocre and overpriced. 1. New York, USA. New York City, often referred to as the Big Apple, is one of the most famous cities in the world, with its towering skyscrapers, iconic landmarks, and buzzing energy. It promises excitement at every corner, from Times Square to Central Park, but for many tourists, the city can feel overwhelming, chaotic, and at times, a bit underwhelming. One of the biggest challenges visitors face in New York is simply navigating the city. The endless crowds and fast-paced nature can be exhausting, especially in areas like Midtown or Times Square, where tourists and locals alike are constantly rushing around. Hotels, meals, and attractions like Broadway shows or admission to places like the Empire State Building come with a hefty price tag, and it's easy to blow through your budget quickly. Some tourists also find that the quality of food and accommodations doesn't always justify the steep prices. While New York has world-class attractions, like the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, and the Metropolitan Museum of Art, it also has areas that are dirty, noisy, and congested. The constant honking of cars, construction, and the sheer density of the city can make it difficult to relax or take in the beauty of New York's landmarks.